Africa are you from?
I'm from America. That's what we're saying. Just
What
like a
country in
Jamaican,
Africa
just like
are
a
you
no,
from?
no, no. Hold on. Just like somebody.
To sit in a podcast in America with an American accent with Black Americans dressed like a Black American woman and tell them that they don't know where they come from or Africans perceive you as such, it really at this point is beyond the scope of sanity. This is the same issue we face with Black Brits, who, same with Africans in this country. They have absolutely no idea of the history of the Americas, and particularly the history of the United States of America. Africans look at the United States of America as a white country, and they look at Americans as being white Americans, which is American culture, is the culture that has been exported to the world. I have been to every continent except for Antarctica, and I see pictures of Tupac, I see pictures of Biggie, I hear hip hop playing, I see people dressed like us. So the reach of African American culture is a global one that many other Black cultures haven't reached. She then goes on to paint this broad stroke of African Americans being lazy, and this is a trope that they love to throw out. Take a listen to this.
Africans come to America, they're busting their behinds to get degrees, become doctors, lawyers, and stuff like that. So when Africans look at African Americans, they're like, these people have credit cards. We don't even have credit cards. These people are not even working, and we come here and we busting our asses. Now we're doing this. Guess what? We're right here, and y'all are still here.
There's a lot of
the absolute gall and audacity of this girl to be in America and say that, well, we come over and we get more money than you, we have more education than you, not understanding you wouldn't even be allowed to be in this country without the fight and the strife of African Americans to fight for their own liberty and their own freedoms.
Okay, first mistake you make, both of you and the lady, is thinking of people as a collective, as a monolith. Think of people as individuals. However, I will not say there are not certain groups that are self-proclaimed victims who live in America. And I've been in this country 11 years as of last month. I have seen both sides of the aisle. And you're wrong. Africans, most of us who studied history, learned about the transatlantic slave trade, and we are very aware that there are dark-skinned people in America. The mistake you're making is conflating Africanness to blackness and blackness to Africanness. That's not correct. Africa is not the dark continent. P.S. Part of the 100 questions citizenship test we have to take to pass to become citizens includes the history of America. Just FYI. Someone disagreeing with what you're saying doesn't mean they're ignorant to it. It means they know it and they're disagreeing with you. See past the victimhood. See past the vitriol. See past the bias. And yes, it's bias on both sides. I'm not going to deny that. However, it's very hard for me to take someone seriously when they live in a first world country with all the opportunities they have here, where there's no nepotism and tribalism, and we live in 2024, and yet someone is complaining how the country is racist, and yet there's been a chocolate president elected twice. And every time I try to make those differences, my very first time I made such a video and said the infrastructure here is better than the infrastructure back home. Now it's getting better, but still. I was met with a lot of hostility from ADOS. When you hear people saying they are coming here and they are doing better than native-born Americans, meaning again ADOS, they're talking about a specific group of people who like to play victim and play the system, the EBT warriors. You and I know what we're talking about. Don't pretend you don't. No one should be categorizing everyone as a group and saying, oh, they're lazy. No, but there are lazy people within the group. There are toxic people in each group in this country. The issue of race for me has always been the bane of my existence, because this whole black white nonsense, I don't ascribe to that crap. Africans don't ascribe to the race construct. And for the love of all things holy, I am sick and tired of hearing this whole, if it wasn't for us, you would not be here. The Civil War was fought by both sides. It was fought by dark-skinned Americans and also light-skinned Americans. So stop trying to take all the credit. And that led to the Immigration Act. I hate when people victimize themselves using their skin tone or weaponize their skin tone to try to get some kind of hold over others. And that is all I have gotten so far. Why is there such a difference between conservative dark-skinned Americans and leftist dark-skinned Americans? One group plays victim, one group cries, oh, we're victims, we're oppressed. The other group is like, don't call me African American, I'm American. Again, circling back to that identity. What is African about you? You claimed yourself, you've born here, you have American culture. Yes, and that's what you are, an American. You may have African descent or heritage, but don't assume that just because someone is dark-skinned, they're from Africa. You want to learn about the continent? Do your homework. My issue is people claiming a continent about which they don't care to learn. They can't name 2 tribes, they can't name 5 countries, and yet that's what they like to say belongs to them. Also, they mock our cultures. Don't dare mock our customs and cultures and also gatekeep our cultures whilst claiming to be African American. You know nothing about Africa. We do not have social programs in Africa. You literally do not work, you will die. You have to hustle. We have no social programs, no welfare programs, no backup plan. That's why we hustle. That's why we hustle the way we do, and that's the one huge difference in culture between us. We don't have a backup plan. You cannot play a system because there's no system to play. Either you work or you die. It's that simple. Maybe that's what she was trying to say. I don't know. I'm going to agree with you on one thing. It's very naive of her to ask an American where they are from in Africa when they were born and raised in America. They're very much American by culture, by nationality. Now asking where your ancestors were from, that's a different question altogether if you can trace it that far back, right? I agree with you there. She should have more compassion, but it ends there. As far as what is holding you back, it's not a system.
So Thomas Sowell has done good work on, back in the 70s, he showed that second-generation West Indians living in the same city as Black Americans were earning 58% more, right? So they're both being treated to whatever degree badly by white people. Whatever system you want to suppose is holding Black people back is equally affecting both of them.
And please, can we not go over the systemic racism BS? Because if systemic racism was real, dark-skinned immigrants in this country would not be doing well either, if it's all about racism.